Okay. So I don't want to just start off by saying hello, welcome. I just want it to be a fun conversation in the beginning because that's what people actually look out for.
Yeah,
If you tell me what you're doing, tell me what you did, all of, and I think we should just have a gentle chat instead of welcome and like we'll talk about this. Like we can eventually go into that.
yeah,
But let's start from the scratch.
yeah. I'm
Did I
thinking.
put you on the spot? I put you on the spot. No, this is just a general conversation between two people, so it's fine. Like my maid just walked in, and that's absolutely fine. So now let's get back to what do you think what did we decide to talk about today? Because I know we had a lot of pointers about what all we want to discuss eventually in the next few weeks. So
I think
what are
one
we
of
talking
the
about today?
things we were going to talk about was fitness and body image,
Yes,
right?
perfect. So do
Um,
you want to start about what fitness means to you, or so what has been your body image journey? Because I know that you gained weight and then you lost weight and then you gained weight and then you lost so much weight. So what was that like? Why did that happen? You know?
I think we can get to that in a bit. But what's more important probably is to maybe identify what does it mean to be fit or what
Yes.
is because I know there is a lot of people are waking up to the idea of body positivity, and there is a lot of terminology around, okay, tone up, muscle gain, fat loss. There is a whole refinement in how people look at it today. But for me to get into my journey can happen later. But what I am really interested in knowing is or understanding or maybe even discussing is what is fitness,
Yes.
and
Yes.
what does it mean to each person. And as I say that, I invite you with all my curiosity. What is, because I know you're
For
also on
me,
a journey and you have had a journey.
yes.
So what does that mean
Yes.
to you?
So personally, my journey was I have always been a little bit overweight, like not too much, but slightly, borderline above average, I would say. So I've always had that feeling that, oh my God, I need to lose weight, I need to lose weight. Then a few years ago, like around 4 or 5 years ago, one of my friends told me that, I'm doing this particular diet, not for losing weight, but for health reasons. I'm doing this particular diet, and it actually immediately shed the pounds off my body. And I said, okay, this is interesting. So I went on a total gluten-free diet, obviously no sugar. And that's it. I still had
I think
like
it was
brown
also dairy
rice.
free at that time.
Sorry,
You also went dairy free at that time?
I did not go dairy-free. I used to have yogurt.
Hmm.
So I used to have that. I didn't have ice cream, like no sugar and no gluten, basically, like just these two. And first of all, if you don't have sugar, you immediately drop a lot of weight, a lot of pounds. And if you also don't have gluten, like I didn't have roti, I didn't have bread, I didn't have any of that. So that also helps. And I didn't have white rice, I had brown rice. And I had a lot of vegetables. I didn't have too many fruits, but I had a lot of veggies basically. So that helped me lose a lot of weight within like around 6 to 8 months. I think I lost around 10, 12 kgs in 6 to 8 months, which was a huge deal, right? And I did my exercise, I did gym, I did cult at that point. So I did lose a lot of weight. But then later on, I had to take steroids medication, and that um, immediately made me gain weight, you know, gain all that weight back. Those 10, 12 kgs, I immediately gained back within a few months. after which reducing that weight has been a problem for me. So since then, I've probably lost around 5, 6 kgs, but I still need to lose around at least another 8 to 10 kilos. Yeah, personally.
You still didn't answer my question. What does fitness mean to you?
Fitness means getting back to that shape, getting back to that healthy body that I was in uh, before today, that healthy body which I was in around 4 years ago. I think that like in my life, I think that was peak fitness for me till now. So get back to that, and then um, maybe beyond, exercise, eat well, do all of that, meditate as well. Yeah. So meditation helped you told me, right?
Yeah, but I still want to get to the understanding of fitness because um, it seems like that is the term which is most delusional, in my opinion, at least.
So
Uh,
what is fitness to you? What do you think it means? Because for me, it's being healthy is fitness. Like if you ask in one word, health.
um, uh, for me, for one, fitness, being fit starts from feeling fit.
Okay.
And feeling fit can mean different things to different people. Uh, so, as a starter, there is a lot of stress on weight, body composition, and body image. And
Yes.
knowingly, unknowingly, everything that we're speaking about fitness right now is is pointing in that direction. Uh, for me, fitness means doing right by my body, doing the correct
Okay.
thing for my body. Um,
Okay.
so it is more, it could be something which has more to do with behavior than to do with an outcome.
Okay.
And so it is probably a holistic thing because it includes my mind, it includes my soul, and it includes the body, of course. Um, so when it comes to issues around body weight, or I'd say fitness, I'd use the word fitness, not body weight, because that sort of reduces the entire, it kind of narrows the entire discussion. So I'll use the word fitness. And for me, fitness, as I said, is to feel fit,
Yeah.
but to get to a
Overall.
space where you can take actions or do things which are right for you or right for your body. I think what is the prerequisite for that is a lot of silence. A prerequisite to that is a lot of alignment and awareness. The prerequisite to that is finding your own truth around it. Because there's so much noise that people who'd say, "Oh, all body shapes are fine," right? And that's
Yeah. Yeah.
positivity. That's a popular concept nowadays.
Yeah.
Then there are others who say that low fat ratio, high muscle ratio works. There's a
Yeah.
certain way that a woman's body works. There's a certain way that a man's body works, and there are probably n number of theories, n number of popular concepts, which are all great, and knowledge is great. Um, but till knowledge applied to yourself, it doesn't become wisdom. So, wisdom is when you apply knowledge. But to apply knowledge, the first thing that needs to happen is that inner alignment, which comes from silence, which
Okay.
is why I said meditation has been my
Yes.
key. And meditation has not been a key in terms of me losing weight because of the breathing exercises or whatever.
Yes.
It's not what it is. Um, because weight loss for me was a slow process in the sense that when I started to lose weight, I lost weight really quickly because I do
Okay.
how
Yeah.
my body is. So I lost like 45 kgs in a span of 18 months.
That's insane. Yeah.
It's
That's insane.
insane. But I never, up until I took it to a point where I lost touch with myself, I never felt unhealthy. I always felt pretty
Okay.
fit. which is why I know very well the difference between where it's coming from. And I feel that is the starting point for any journey, and any uh, future directed action. I feel like you need to be first very, very grounded in what's of value to you now, what's happening to you now, and accept it for exactly what it is. And what I'm
Okay.
talking about, if I'm talking about fitness and body weight and all of that, what does that really, really mean to me? Why is that important? What is important about it? I want to be disease free, yes. For me,
Yes.
the themes that came out was I wanted to do right by my body. I understood values that I'm someone who likes to do the correct thing. And
Yes.
it was simply that. It was simply that.
Okay.
So gaining weight is a symptom,
Yeah.
and it points towards an issue in the lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Probably not
Correct.
eating very balanced. You're probably eating more calories than you require. Maybe your macros are off. Maybe you're eating too much protein. Maybe you're eating too much fat. Um, or you're not exercising. You're very sedentary, etc., etc. And that lifestyle imbalance again points to something else. So it is a progressive questioning that needs to be done at that point. That okay, fine, my weight is higher than it should be. It's more than the healthy weight. What is the reason for that? Okay, my lifestyle habits are not great. Okay, is it because I'm really enjoying my life, or there are parts
Yeah.
of me which are not completely satisfied? And and then there is that mental awareness bit that has to come in it. And that's the thing, for each person the journey is so different, because as you go into it you realize there are different things. Like some people say, we just don't like movement, we just don't
Yeah.
like exercising. Now going deeper into it, that okay, what is it about exercise that scares you, or what is it about exercise that upsets you? Is it just the fact that you will not be able to do it? Is it just a fear of failure? Are there standards which have been set which are beyond your control? A lot of times the biggest hindrance to exercise is body image issue.
Okay.
Okay,
What do you mean by that?
that
Why
because
is that a
you
hindrance
don't
to?
because you don't have a fit body, and you don't have the kind of bodies you see people who exercise do, you feel like you cannot exercise.
Mm,
It's almost a asynchronous, there's lack of
yeah.
synchronization
Yeah.
between what you think and what's the reality. So anyways, so having said that, I feel like all these things are symptoms. Until you really get to the root cause of it, there's no point starting to run into a diet or an exercise plan. What really needs to happen is you need to really sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is
Yes.
that I want? What about it is important to me? And if it is looking good, if it is fitting into a particular kind of dress, if that is what is important to me, that's completely fine and that's great. But let's go further and ask what's important about that. And oftentimes you'll find that it's wanting to be liked, it's wanting to be
Yeah.
appreciated, it's wanting to not be ridiculed, it's wanting to be
Yeah.
accepted for who you are.
Yeah.
Important about that, it's being respected. What's important about that? It's being connected. Yeah. And as you go deeper into this mode of questioning, and you understand what is it that's really important to you, you get aligned. Because now you're not your actions are not based on superficial reasons. Your actions are based on your identity. Your actions are now your the changes come from a place of identity. So for me it was, I want to be someone who takes care of her body. I want to be someone who
Yes.
does the right thing for her body, who eats the right thing for her body. And this, and why meditation helped me is because that kind of silence is what helped me realize how much I value my body and how little the connection has been between my mind and my body. So the
Okay.
more I sat with myself in meditation and in silence, hearing myself breathe in and breathe out and doing different techniques, the more I could feel my own pulse. And because I'm someone who's always in my head, I am not very good at connecting with my body. So I would not even realize whether I'm hungry, and I would not even realize that my stomach's full. I would not realize that my body is aching because I've worked out too much, or my body is aching because I've been too lazy or have not moved at all. So
Okay.
that's why meditation was important to me. It was important because it just brought me into a space of awareness.
So
Uh,
meditation helped you uh, realize what's happening inside you, is what you're saying? Like, are you hungry or are you full? Are you lazy? Are
I
you
think that
tired? Does it help?
that it does help you connect to your body, but it also helps you. Yes, it's very important. It does help you connect to your body, and that silence helps you come to a space where you know what you want and just what you want and what you honestly and unabashedly want. And you can be very
Okay.
unapologetic about it. So if it was something as silly as doing the right thing, being correct, being absolutely correct in what I'm doing, that striving for perfection, which is probably not the best thing in the world, but I was honest about it, that this is what I really want. I don't want to leave any stone unturned. And um, so it was not that. And the second thing that it helped me with was acceptance
Okay.
for where I was at that time, acceptance for what I was in totality, acceptance for the body just the way it was without striving to just get out of it, without hatred.
Okay.
So, what it helped me do was also create an acceptance and affection for my body in exactly the state it was. Because if you're not in a state where you're 100% in love, or at least in with some level of congruence with your current truth, everything will seem very impossible because it's like painting on the sky. It's not quite there. So it helped me with grounding. It helped me with asking myself, okay, this is my body. This is how I feel in my body at this moment. This is everything that my body is doing for me. What do I want to do for my body? Instead of being like, oh my God, I have to cut my thighs, I have to cut my hips, I have to cut my stomach, I have to cut this, and shred, and I have to be like super strict. It came with it came from a place of affection, which is why I'd say that anyone
Okay.
who wants to be on a journey towards fitness, the most important thing would be to be gentle with yourself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
Can
to,
it lead to hatred towards your own body? Do you think that's possible? Like, if you're looking into yourself, if you're looking at your body, can you feel like a sort of, oh my God, I'm so fat, I can't do this anymore? Do you think that's a possibility?
for some people, coming to a point of being able to be affectionate to their body and have that kind of kindness to themselves, it can be hard because there are a lot of
Mm,
factors which will not let you help, which will not let you fall in love with the body.
yeah.
And by falling in love, I don't mean it in the hardcore social media way. I mean, accept it. Yes, this is where I am. This is what my weight is. This is my blood pressure. This is my sugar level. And this is all the effort that's going in. And in any situation, I always say that there are two ways of looking at a situation when you're trying to move forward. One is acting out of push factors, and the other is acting from pull factors. If you're going to act out of disgust towards your body, fortunately,
Yeah.
it's not going to take you too far because you're
Okay.
already functioning from a very low level of consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unless and until there is just a raw acceptance, I'm not even saying that you have to start with love. Love will come, maybe, maybe not. But just an acceptance of even the hatred, just the awareness that I'm just hating myself right now, or I'm just
Yeah.
hating my body right now, and just sitting with it. Just sitting with that
Yeah.
sense that yes, I don't like my body in this moment. I don't like how I look. I don't like how people look at me. I don't like how people talk about me. I don't like how I don't fit into a certain kind of dress. I don't fit into a certain standard. And be okay with knowing that it's okay to want to um, fit to a certain standard, and it's okay to be rebellious too. But whatever it is that your state of mind is, whatever it is that you discover, just sit with it. There is no one answer. There is no one answer at all. You might just find that there are layers and layers and layers to peel. And once you start peeling off those layers, and a lot of us actually carry a lot of baggage about our body image issue. Like I started gaining weight when I was all of 8 years old. And I
Yeah,
spent
same.
my teenage years bloated, like super bloated.
Mm, yeah,
Um, and I'd keep losing weight and I'd keep gaining it and I'd keep losing it
yeah,
because I never came from a place of acceptance. I was always coming from a place of pushing myself out of a situation rather than being pulled by something better.
yeah,
So every time you're trying to run away from something, your energy is going to be very different rather than working towards something. Um,
okay.
so yeah, at least so my experience, of course, has been crazy because I have lost 25 kgs multiple times in my life. I forgot to count and gained it all back. And then one fine year, I just uh, went into, now I realize it was depression. But in the year 2011, I was possibly one of the hardest years of my life. Well, hard to say, many years after that have been difficult, but at that time it seemed like the hardest year. And 2011 was the year when I felt like I'm depressed, like I just don't have the strength to do anything in life. And I just completely blew up. I started gaining weight, and of course, the more you gain weight, the more you start hating your body, the more you start hating your
Yes,
behavior, you get into those guilt behaviors, and there's a vicious cycle around it, which is why it's time to resort to silence and to be a little gentle with yourself and really ask yourself, hey, what's happening? What's
yeah,
really happening? And generally, the issues are not, don't stop at lifestyle. The issues are a lot deep rooted. And the more you look at Instagram models and you see people working out and doing this and doing that, I would actually get even more demotivated by looking at that because even in my even in my dreams, I just couldn't find myself motivated to do it because I was not connected. So my urge to
yeah,
everyone would be to be gentle because it's not like I lost weight and I never gained it back. I did,
yeah,
but
yeah,
this time I'm a lot gentler with myself. And
yeah. Was it difficult when you first started losing that weight or started wanting to lose that weight? Was it difficult to give up all your favorite foods and stuff like that? Start
no, it
eating
was not.
healthy?
No, it was not. And I'll tell you why. It was not difficult because I never came with the intent that I want to lose weight. That was not the intent. The intent was I need to do course correction,
Okay,
which is why the weight loss happened much later. The weight loss happened in the last year of whatever I was doing. But the transformation of my habit started 3 years before that, which is gentle exercising on and off.
okay,
I started with very, very gentle exercise, just to walk, very gentle yoga, sometimes just 20 minutes, 15 minutes, just a 30-minute stroll because that's all I could convince myself to do. I just had too much going on in my life. I just could not put myself through that pressure. And then and there was a lot of spiritual effort that went into it. It was really a lot of sitting with myself and asking myself, what do I really want in life? What's so important about this? And what is this baggage that I'm carrying about my body? I have been ridiculed. And
yeah.
I have been said horrible things while growing up, after I grew up in my 20s. I've had some horrible comments people make to me. And
I'm
just,
sure a lot of us have.
yeah, yeah. And it's really about acknowledging that yes, you are hurt, you have felt that abuse, and you have felt that judgment, and you did bear the brunt of it, and there is no running away from it. You have to really sit with it, come face to face with it, and just notice the impact.
Yeah, yeah. So are
And
you feeling better now that you went through this entire process and Are you feeling more attuned to your own body and realizing what you need and all?
See, you cannot be in one steady state all the time. But as I said, it's about ensuring that at any given point in time, you're noticing the ebb and flows. That, if there are times when the motivation is like, okay, fine, I'm going to do this and do that and do that. And then there are days when there isn't any motivation. And it's just a good idea to maybe notice and adjust to that and really be. I think the word I'd look for, or the actual magic word, why meditation was helpful was because it leads to mindful living. It leads to a more conscious decision making day to day. So it's not just about weight loss, it's also about being more selective with the people you're inviting into your life,
Okay. Yeah.
being more deliberate in your responses.
Yeah.
So, in the same tune, when I'm picking up something to eat and I'm mindful and I know that, hey, these two biscuits have got like 100 calories and one chapati's got 100 calories, I'm going to be hungry after those two biscuits. But I'll feel pretty full after I have a chapati. So I'll probably pick up
Mm,
that fruit. So
interesting.
it's really about giving yourself that space, allowing yourself a little bit of silence, and not with the goal that I have to get out of this kind of body and I want to be someone else. More about, hey, what's right for me in this moment? And there are moments in which that chocolate is much more right for me than a healthy bowl of salad, and I'll go for
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
And just being very aware of what you're doing. So the problem mostly happens is when you're eating without even being mindful. So often we're eating these
Yeah.
things, but we're not quite enjoying them.
Especially when you're like working and you're super stressed and stuff, you just keep munching on something. And
Yeah,
even in
for me,
offices, I know they give you.
even maybe not work stress.
Hmm.
Um, for me, uncertainty, decision making, choices, I find that very difficult. So for everyone, it's going to be different. For some people, it's sadness. Sadness makes me not want to eat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Me too. I think it depends. Sometimes it makes me want to eat ice creams and chocolates and sweet things. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not hungry. I don't want to eat. So it depends.
And it's all chemical, right? Because when you're
Mm.
sad, there is a low serotonin, and your body says, hey, have this yummy thing, and you'll get some serotonin.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's about just being aware that, okay, I'm sad, I'm sad, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I
So, yeah.
can sit with it.
Okay. So if you want to sum up the entire learning that you just spoke about, what is the one thing that you will say everybody should focus on and everybody should understand if they want to get into their ideal body or a better body, maybe?
No, go into a progressive questioning mode. So really sit and be very honest with yourself that what is it that you want. Um, I would be absolutely lying if I'd say that I don't like it when people give me a compliment, that you're looking very nice.
Yes.
But to be fair, for me, it was a lot about the baggage that I've been carrying from my childhood and the baggage that I carried in my teenage years and my early 20s. I first needed to come to terms with that baggage
And
around.
that, yeah.
Because, yeah, that am I doing it out of vengeance towards myself and towards all those people? Or am I doing it because this is something I want to do? And if it's something I want
Yeah.
to do, what does that look like for me? What is the reality of that?
Yeah.
So, a lot of times, my reality was around also. So, when it was around clean eating, my reality was also around desisting from non vegetarian food, not leaving. I eat non vegetarian food, but a lot of times, in a lot of phases, when I have meditated a lot, I have felt like I don't want to eat non vegetarian food. It just did
Hmm.
not feel compatible with what my inner world was. I would
Interesting.
say that anyone who wants to embark on a journey may just take some time to be gentle with themselves and just notice the impact of everything that the body has been through. And whatever you're most scared of, maybe do that. For me, checking my weight is something that scares me.
Okay.
So the day I check my weight, I know I've conquered something.
Okay.
For a lot of people,
Nice.
they say they don't check their weight because it leads to obsession. And
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
there are some times that leads to obsession for me, but yes, I know when it's coming from a place of obsession and when it's coming from a place of fear. So that is one. And um, the second is just listening to your stomach, just being aware of your body, that what is it that it really wants. So for me, after that particular weight loss journey, I've gained weight back. Um, but this time around, I know exactly what was it. I know that there were 3 years of misalignment and stress for me, and I am completely fine with that. I'm very gentle with myself because my body has endured the maximum brunt of the past 3 years. My and I'm very grateful for that. Um, and I can only focus on doing right by my body, being kind to it,
Yeah.
gentle to myself, and knowing that um, nothing's going to happen till I don't connect well the three. So you also have to be, I think people also need to be conscious that there are often ebbs and flows, and there is not one perfect size, perfect weight that you maintain for the rest of your life. It's a process. It's a
What
process
if
of finding
you
things.
what if you are listening to your body or talking to your body and your body is craving something, like craving some chocolate, like that's what your body's telling you right now.
I'll ask
Then
my
what?
body what need is being met by having a chocolate.
Okay.
Most likely it'll be ease and pleasure.
Mostly pleasure, I'm sure.
Yeah. And as long as um, I'm able to taste all the flavors of my chocolate and I'm not just stuffing it down my throat, I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as I take
Perfect.
time to enjoy that chocolate. I recently read the difference between pleasure and enjoyment. And
Okay.
I'm really liking that definition because it makes a lot of sense, and it gives words to a lot of abstract thoughts in my head. Which is the pleasure is the pleasure. You can get pleasure very easily. Like anyone, if we go out and eat really creamy pasta and eat very palatable food, we'll get pleasure immediately. But enjoyment comes when you're able to decipher what flavor is coming from where in each bite. If you're present to each and every bite and you're able to sense everything from the temperature to the herbs to the texture in every mouthful, that is what helps you grow, and that is
Okay.
enjoyment. So if I'm able to enjoy my chocolate in that state of mind, I'll go ahead and have it. If it's only for pleasure, I'll probably ask myself that what is the longing behind this longing for pleasure. I'll probably go deeper, and that's what silence does. And giving yourself that. So there's another point which would probably be very interesting to bring out over here is around neuroplasticity, which is that also when you're used to, so for example, I'm used for the past 7 odd years since I've been eating clean. There's one treat that I give myself every night before I go to sleep. I'll have one piece of chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah, any size.
okay.
Okay, it could be anywhere between 30 calories to 100 calories, but I'll have a piece of chocolate every night. And that has become a habit now because now even when I don't want to eat it, I will just physically go and grab it.
Okay.
And that's how your neural wiring becomes. That's how the neural pathways are wired in a way that you end up repeating. This is why habits are so strong. Habit formation is such a great thing because once you're habituated to something, you don't have to think, you don't need motivation, you just go ahead and do it.
You just do it, yeah.
Just do it. And similarly the good thing about neuroplasticity is you can break it.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
if all you need is pause.
Pause. Yes.
Just ask yourself, okay, I want to eat it. What's important about that? What's going to get satisfied? And what is the need behind the satisfaction? And you'd probably be actually craving for something else. You'd probably
Yeah.
for sometimes you're just craving for familiarity or warmth.
Yeah.
So,
Got it.
so I guess it's
Perfect.
not as there's not a one size fits all, unfortunately.
Definitely. Unfortunately, yes. But thanks
What
a
is
lot
your take
because
from your
what
journey?
is my take from my journey? Because, like you said, like I said, I saw someone going through something. I've always wanted to lose weight, always. And I think it was always because I wanted to look a certain way. I wanted to look thinner. For me, it wasn't about, oh, I should be healthy. It wasn't. It was like that for you, for sure. For me, it wasn't that. I wanted to look a certain way, fit into that dress, all of that which you spoke about. So I kept trying, and then it didn't happen. So I did one thing when I let go of sweet, let go of gluten, all of that. And it actually worked because I saw someone else doing it for different reasons and it worked for them. So I said, okay, let me try it. And it worked. And once I started shedding the weight, I wanted to do more. You know, I was like, okay, this is happening. I can maybe uh, do some more exercise. That'll help. Maybe I can do some dance. Maybe that'll help. So after that, everything I started doing, which was exercise, it was also because I wanted to do it. It was
Mm.
also because of enjoyment. It was also because I wanted to keep my body fit, I think is what the main thing was. After I lost those initial few pounds, I think. Yeah.
And where are you now?
So I want to still lose because I did gain a lot of weight, like I told you, after taking steroids. But now I want to go back to losing that weight, and everything you said actually helped because I wasn't in that mindset that I need to lose weight to be fit. I was more like, oh my God, I need to lose weight to look better than I do now. But what you said makes sense. And I do want to lose weight for my health more than anything. I want to be healthy, not just fit, but healthy. So that's what I'm going to focus more on. And yeah, basically. So thank you so much. Thank you for talking about this because it really helped. And it was like a 45-minute talk almost, but it's every single bit of it is helpful.
That's
So
great.
thank you so
And
much.
I also feel more charged and more aligned after this conversation because it reminds me of, hey, these are my values. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yes,
And
yes. It
yeah,
also reminded me of the same thing.
yeah,
Because like I said, I was always like, I need to fit into that dress and stuff like that. But now I'm like, I need to be healthy.
yeah, yeah.
So
And I'm not
yeah.
saying that everyone wants to fit into that dress. I mean,
Yeah.
the same dress.
Yeah.
But but yeah, everyone's got that. But I'm sure there's more than that. And that can
Yes.
just be a byproduct of knowing yourself better.
Yes. Perfect. So thank you so much. This was a really great
Yeah, it
chat.
was. It was a great chat.
And we shall be back next week with another chat, right?
I'm traveling
Well,
next,
maybe not next week, maybe 10
maybe in
days or
10 days.
whatever, but yes, we shall be back. Okay,
Okay.
Shrats. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.